North Idaho College proudly presents NIC Today, an informational news magazine that highlights the people, programs, and campus life at North Idaho College and the surrounding community. And now, your host and moderator, President of North Idaho College, Dr. Priscilla Bell.
Hello and welcome to NIC Today, the show that gives you insights into what's happening at your community college. I'm Priscilla Bell, the President of NIC, and your host. I have with me today members of the President's Cabinet, Dr. Sheldon Nord, Vice President for Student Services, Dr. Jim Perez, Vice President for Instruction, and Ron Dorn, Vice President for Resource Management, and then as has become customary, Vice President for Community Relations and Marketing, Mark Browning. Thank you all for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here, and it's good to be here on this day. We've given you a little bit of grief on the program for those watching at home. Normally these topics are set out in advance, and we have a pretty good idea, and we've kind of kept the president in the dark on this one because
yes, you have.
if you are not aware, President Bell is nearing retirement here from North Idaho College, so we thought this program would be a good time to take a look back and maybe reflect on some of the finer moments and some of the more personal moments during Dr. Bell's near 5.5 year tenure here at North Idaho College. And one of the events that we've just recently completed that really is the highlight of the year is commencement. And so we'd like to take a look back at some of the commencement moments under Dr. Bell's tenure here at North Idaho College.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Priscilla Bell. I'm the president of North Idaho College, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to the 2012 North Idaho College commencement ceremony. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the color guard and the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, folks, what a thrill. What an honor to be with you on this very, very special day. First things first, let's recognize and congratulate the North Idaho College class of 2012. I've mentioned over the years here at North Idaho College that I've had the privilege of participating in many community college commencements. Well, I'm not going to divulge to a crowd this large just how many commencements, but let me say that because I'm retiring June 30th, this will perhaps be the most special of all of my many commencements. And I'm so pleased that my final commencement is here at this most special institution. We have more than 1,000 candidates for graduation this year. It is our largest class ever. And of those candidates, we have 425 graduates participating in commencement today. Among our many candidates, the youngest is 16. The oldest is 67. Congratulations. One is never too old to learn, as we know. The candidates for graduation are predominantly from Idaho, but we also have candidates from California, Iowa, Illinois, Montana, North Dakota, New Mexico, Oregon, Texas, Utah, Washington, the Bahamas, Finland, and South Africa. Whoa.
Roxana Ballou.
Doing a good job.
Jenny Rollins.
And Howard.
Leslie Louie. Jackson Louis.
Brother and sister?
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife. Yeah. Awesome.
Guilford Thomas. Cody Martin. That's it.
Graduates, please stand. You are now officially college graduates, so please move your tassels from the right to the left. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the North Idaho College graduating class of 2012. Graduates, once you can get untangled from all that confetti, now that you officially have your degrees and certificates conferred, I ask you to offer the faculty and staff of North Idaho College a round of applause for a job well done.
Commencement is a special time. We've been chatting here while you've been watching the highlights here at home. And President Bell, you said during the address there that you weren't going to divulge how many commencements you had been to, but are you ready to do so now?
Well, the audience was perhaps even larger now than it was then, but yeah, that was my 34th commencement out of 38 years at community colleges, and I think it was my 18th on stage as the president.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long, I don't want to say long, but it's a rich and full history. So, Jim Perez, you've known the president for quite some time. The two of you worked together over in Washington State. I imagine you have a memory or two about President Bell and commencement.
Well, let me start this way. Yeah. Also not wanting to divulge the longevity of it all, but yeah, Dr. Bell and I go back quite a few years. In fact, honestly, I at one time considered her, I still do, considered her a mentor because both Dr. Bell and I grew up on the student services side, if you will,
Yes, we did.
of the house. And when she was the vice president, I was moving into the vice presidency, and so I had the distinct pleasure and honor of working with her in various state agencies, state organizations, and she eventually became a liaison to the Student Services Commission when she became a president because of her expertise in that area. And many of us were just thrilled to have somebody of that caliber or that experience working with us. And
Well, that was a good fun group, though.
it was a good fun
That
group.
was a plum assignment to be able to be the liaison there. It was a plum assignment.
Yeah.
So
We did have a very good group, a very strong group of people who, many of them eventually did accede to the presidency. So following her.
And we have one here who's doing that exact thing, Sheldon Nord, who is taking a presidency at Corbin College over in Salem, Oregon. But you came as a vice president here, and
I did.
Commencement offers a chance for you to kind of put the seal on what you've done here at NIC.
Yeah, I think commencement, some people think of the ending of a college career, but it's actually the word is the beginnings, right? So it's new beginnings. One of the things that I think of in working with Priscilla is she begins well and she finishes well. My first day on the job, there was a board of trustees meeting that evening, and she insisted that I do the enrollment report to the board of trustees my first day on the job, and I don't even think it occurred to her that it would be any other way. So I think Priscilla has a reputation for being productive and expecting a lot of people, and that was a good example of me being forced to start well. And then I think on the other end of the spectrum, I think of Jay Lee when he was leaving here a couple months ago. We had a president's cabinet meeting that morning, and I think Jay was getting in his car that afternoon to drive to Denver or to drive to Sterling, Colorado. And I think Priscilla gave him 2 or 3 new assignments that morning.
I think so.
So I'm not sure I'm going to show up for that last president's cabinet meeting. That's right.
Might be a good thing.
No, but I think it's a good example of Priscilla, expecting a lot of people and helping all of us achieve things that we wouldn't have otherwise. So it's a kudos to her.
Well, and one of the big expectations in a publicly managed agency is to be very transparent with our resources, with our funds, and that falls into your office. Give me an idea of what it's like to work with President Bell in terms of managing those finances.
Have you ever gone into one of those weekly meetings we have with her and sit there in disbelief at the size of the folder and all and all of the projects that she has for you, or all the projects she's assigned, and she flips through that folder and what about this? What about this? What about this? And really keeps track of you that way. And it's been a lot of fun. You're on task, as Sheldon says. You get some things to do. You get them done. You go back and you check off. And I think one of the best things was, I think it was last week when I met with Priscilla. She says, I have nothing in the folder for you. You've got it all done.
You got it done. That's right. Wow. You did wonderfully well.
Well, we didn't want this to turn into a roast, at least not yet. We've got some other folks coming before we get to that portion. But it has been, I think the word that I'm picking up is an adventure. It's been quite the adventure for all of us who've had the pleasure to be here. And we want to take a look back now at some of your great adventures here while you've been on campus.
Say good afternoon to everybody who's joined us today, and thank you for joining us for the Police Officer Standard and Training Program graduation today. Graduates, my sincere congratulations to you all on this milestone achievement. Yes, indeed. Welcome to this exciting ribbon cutting event. The point of this project, from North Idaho College's perspective, is to open educational opportunities for our region.
So that's all fine and well, and those are, in fact,
good moments.
There's some very good moments. And the last one, I think we can't overstate enough, to be the first woman president here at this great institution that goes all the way back to 1933. That is certainly something of which you should be quite proud, and I know you are.
Well, for me, it's been a fabulous almost 5.5 year tenure, very productive, very, very rewarding, and certainly a lot of fun. Primarily because I've been able to work with people like y'all. I mean, we've had a very good President's Cabinet, a really good executive team that's just made this a joy for me. Yeah.
One of the things that you have become best known for, I think, is your contribution to the Employee Day that we hold here annually here on campus. And you had to think that this was certainly going to come back. But it's not only been your latest effort. See, she's making a note to put in my file right there.
That's right.
I'm sure of that. Andy, before she has a chance to write anything further down for my file, let's take a look back at what she's done over Employee Day.
Welcome to Employee Day. I'm really glad you've joined us. We've got exciting and fun experiences ahead of us today, so let's sit back and enjoy the opening. Oh, by the way, one thing about me that some people know quite well, others don't, is I pride myself on really not being sick throughout my whole career.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can rebuild her. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic president better than she was before. Better, stronger, faster.
Arm. Hold that, please. How many fingers am I holding up?
6, 7.
Sounds good to me. Can you tell me how you're feeling?
Stiff and squeaky.
Okay, well, I do have a prescription here for some molly grease and some hydraulic fluid.
Okay, well, listen, I gotta go because I got a meeting, okay?
Okay, just remember that these parts do have a limited warranty on them.
Okay, doctor. Bye.
They say we're young and we don't know, and we won't find out until we grow. Well, I don't know if that's what I see, 'cause you got me and we got NIC. Babe, NIC, babe, NIC, babe.
I didn't fall off this time. Of all the things I've done in my career, that was perhaps one of the most fun that I've ever done. Joining us now are the other three members from the President's Cabinet. Steve Ruppel, the Director of Information Technology, Rael Anderson, the Executive Director of Foundation and Director of Development, and Al Williams, the Director of Athletics. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for chiming in. You played a big part in Employee Day too, right?
We did, but not quite as classy as you.
One of the other really fun things I had the opportunity to do since I've come to NIC is a public service announcement spot that Rael and Stacy helped to organize, which was about reading. And I was able to go out to one of our ranches and play with a big black stallion and hype reading black stallion books and that sort of thing. So just reading, how important that is.
You know, a lot of what we talk about is, you know, for those of us who work in higher education, I think it becomes almost like it's just part of our language, but sometimes we have to have those kinds of experiences to bring it back to just how fundamental it is, and that's really what we're here to serve the community. Yeah. And I have just been, it's been a pleasure here so far. So, and I know all of these folks have had a lot more experiences than I've had. Well, except for Jim. Jim and I, we're the newbies here at the table.
Well, another one was with Al's program, the athletic program. I got to go read to first graders with Pat Wickham and the wrestlers.
I think you've made the round of all the first grade classes, and it's always fun to see you out there with the first graders, and they always want to sit on your lap and greet you and read the stories to them. And I wasn't quite sure who was going to read to whom when you got there the first time.
Yeah, because the little kids like to jump in. And I don't know how many of those questions you may have listened to, but they rarely ask questions about the book. It's usually, boy, about something else. It was so much fun.
Steve, I want to start with you. You've been here a while. Yeah, a few years. So your best memory of President Bell?
Well, I would have to say that one of my memories is we went to Bonners Ferry for to meet with officials up there and parents. And while Priscilla's been here, we've had some great expansion into Kellogg and Pend Oreille and in Bonners Ferry. But a number of us left in a van that morning, and she had other appointments, and so she was about 30 minutes behind, but she arrived there at the same time as the rest of us, and we had a wonderful day meeting folks there.
No, I don't want the police department to be hearing that. Thank you.
But now, Ron, you catch a little bit of flack because I know you and the president went to Moscow not long ago to work on a project, and you were the one accused of having a little bit of a lead foot.
We were not too far out of town, and she says, look at that, gas mileage is 10 or 12 miles to the gallon compared to my 30.
You got a little better, though, over time.
Got a little better when she turned the switch and took it off a city driving mode and put it on the highway mode. But I wasn't sure what I could have done different except get out and push.
That would have been next.
Yeah.
Could well have been next.
Jim, she always had kind of a lead foot coming from Texas. She always driven a little faster than everybody else out here in the West.
I'm not liking this.
I told you it'd turn into a roast eventually.
I can't attest to her driving, but let me tell you, one of my first introductions to Priscilla, I played in a golf tournament where it was her college, and I got invited down to play, and I'm moving down, just trying to, participate, going down the fairway, and I kept seeing this movement in the foursome in front of us, and I kept looking around, and I see this person doing cartwheels going down the fairway, and I think to myself, no, that can't be the president.
I thought I'd left that one behind me.
And the closer I got, it was indeed President Bell out there doing cartwheels, and I'm having mixed feelings here, and I'm thinking, if this is the president, I'm supposed to emulate. But wait a minute, if this is the way it is in administration, this is going to be fun. And it has been a lot of fun.
I used to be able to do those cartwheels. That wasn't that long ago. That was in the, 2004 or 5 or something like that. And I can't do them anymore after all my hip replacements and knee replacements and all that. But
You are a little more bionic than you were in the clip there earlier. So, we were chatting, for those at home, try to keep you up to speed here, that you weren't a cheerleader in your early days.
I was not.
You were in the drill team.
I was in the North Richland Hills High School drill team. I was president of the Dixie Bells, as a matter of fact.
And that is...
I got my start on presidencies early.
Well, except for an occasional y'all, most folks don't know that you hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas.
I grew up there. I had a really wonderful childhood, and when I graduated from high school, my parents moved to Gonzales, so they stayed in Texas but went south. Yeah, actually, it was in Fort Worth where I got my start on community colleges. The summer after my junior year, I think it was, my mother's good friend, Gertrude Tarpley, was trying to get the junior college bond issue passed for Tarrant County, and she asked me if I'd campaign for her and get out and ring doorbells and put flyers on car windows at the Ranger Stadium. And once she told me what, at the time, junior colleges were all about, I said, this answers my needs. I'm all about opening opportunity and civil rights in those days. So I signed on early.
So
in Fort Worth.
Take us down that road a little further, and you got your interest in community college education. You completed your undergraduate degree.
I did at Texas Tech University in experimental psychology. I got tired of operating on rats and doing things like that, so I decided.
So you moved to humans.
So I moved to humans. Yeah. But I went to Southern California, and I decided to go into a counseling psych master's program with a focus on community colleges, and I started doing internships and part-time work in community colleges in the winter of '75.
Okay.
And I've been in the community colleges ever since.
And you went from Southern California, you spent some time...
I went from Southern California to Tacoma, Washington, where I started out as a coordinator of student activities and made my way through the chairs. After I got my PhD, I was the top student services person and decided it was time to go be a president somewhere. So I went to upstate New York, Fulton Montgomery Community College, where I served as president for a little more than 6 years. And then I went to Highline Community College, where I had the opportunity to work with Jim and his group in student services again. And then from there, I came over here 2007.
And North Idaho College has been the better for it.
North Idaho College has made me the better. No question.
I want to just go back just a touch. We saw that clip of you as Cher.
Yes.
And you were partnered there with Jay Lee, who was our Vice President for Instruction at the time. He is now the president of Northeastern Junior College in Sterling, Colorado. Jay wanted to be here today. He could not make it, but he certainly has some well wishes for you, along with some other folks that we think you'll like hearing from.
Oh.
Priscilla, this is Jay coming to you from Northeastern Junior College in Sterling, Colorado.
Jay.
I want to thank you for all that you've done for me, all that you did to help me get into this position. It's clear to me that you made me ready to be a college president. So I can't thank you enough for helping me reach this goal. You've been a great mentor and a great friend, and I, for one, will forever be grateful for all that you've done for me. And I also want to thank you for a lasting memory. That video that we did portraying Sonny and Cher was a lot of fun, and something neither one of us will be allowed to forget. Priscilla, this is Jay coming to you from Northeastern Junior.
It's good to hear from him.
Jay is he's doing well and
Yes.
sends his best wishes. And he is the you've had a number of vice presidents who have moved on that you've prepared for presidencies.
Actually, I have, I think, 9 people who have been in that position who are now presidents, which, you know, I think that's fabulous. I really like to support the people that work with me, and I like to encourage their development, their education, as you know.
I do.
and their career opportunities when they open. I like to encourage them to take advantage of them.
Very good. Yeah. Andy, if we're ready to go, let's hear from the rest of our well-wishers at this point.
Take care.
Hi, I'm John Martin. And up until January of this past year, I was Vice President for Community Relations and Marketing at North Idaho College and worked for Priscilla for almost 3.5 years. And I can truly say, after a working career of almost 45 years, it was the capstone event of my working life. Priscilla was an outstanding boss. She was compassionate, understanding, and the type of boss that would listen to you when you had ideas that were even counter to hers. But most importantly, the things that I always remember about Priscilla is that she was willing to make those hard decisions that don't come easy to many leaders. Priscilla would evaluate and measure and think, but at the end, she would never waver. She always was ready to make a decision, whether people agreed with it or not.
Priscilla Bell, President Bell, Dr. Bell, you have made a great difference in our community. You have opened up NIC to many other areas within the business world, within the other side of Coeur d'Alene and surrounding areas, whether it be Sandpoint, whether it be Hayden, Rathdrum. K-Tech was a big part of your legacy. There's so much that you've been able to do and accomplish. And like I said, you made a great difference, and we wish you all the best in any decision and opportunity that awaits you. It was a pleasure serving with you.
Hi Priscilla, this is Raleigh Jurgens talking. I came to NIC 28 years ago after spending 15 years in South Dakota higher education. I worked at NIC 26 years. I was hired by President Barry Schuler, worked for interim President Walt Breaux, Bob Bennett, interim President Ron Bell, who's not related to you, Michael Burke, and you. And you were by far the best, Priscilla. You were not afraid to make decisions, and I love that because that means we could move on with things going on here at the campus. You enabled us to buy the first 40 acres out on the prairie, which is now the development site for the K-Tech. That also will enable NIC to expand its programs out at in the prairie and work with the 3 school districts that were cooperating with that. Some 28 years ago, Barry Schuler and I met with then owners of the Stimson Mill that NIC ended up buying. We tried to buy it 28 years ago, and they wouldn't sell it to us. And you've gotten that accomplished. You did good things for the employees here, and good things for me personally. I always enjoyed working for you. I hope you nothing but the best in your retirement. And a little secret between us, you remember the little red pen that I would keep in my pocket at the board meetings? Well, I still have it in case you need that. Good luck, Priscilla, in your future endeavors. See ya. Bye-bye.
Congratulations and best wishes, Priscilla, on your retirement. As an NIC board member, I'm most proud of your work on the education corridor. Actually, our work, because it was a team effort. It's also a team effort because you were partnering with the LCDC, the City of Coeur d'Alene, all of our sister institutions. This partnership, I think, will provide, shall I say, a ground for us as a future as we provide good services to the community. Your work with professional technical programs, trades and industry, that increased programming and outreach, now potentially partnering with K-Tech, again, will provide good services to the members of our community. Your work with financial aid and increasing grants for students is vital in this time of economic challenge. Your championing of salaries for faculty is another good area. So with your many hours of work for our community, we want you now to have time to celebrate. We wish you good health and happy days as you continue to enrich our community.
Priscilla, I would love to join all those who are wishing you the best success in your retirement. Your time here at NIC has been one which will bring a lot of memories to you and a lot of memories to others as you go through this retirement ceremony, but I want you to know that there are many people who will miss you and miss the commitment that you have had to NIC. Clearly, during the period of time that you've been here, you have left a mark on NIC that will last for a long time. Many people will be grateful for the efforts that you put in, and your commitment to NIC is clear. I hope that you and Jim are in your retirement, are able to do the things that you want to do. I know you've talked about wanting to do some traveling, and I know that there's a lot of great days ahead of you. So I would like to have my voice join that chorus that is wishing you the best in your retirement, and thank you very much for your service to NIC.
Hi, Priscilla. I am so excited about your retirement. For you, you deserve it. You've worked so many years. And you know, I've talked to you before about what a pioneer you are. And I don't mean that like an old woman. I mean a pioneer in this industry, and how strong you've been and how successful you've been, and you're a role model. And I really, really want you to enjoy the next years going forward with you and Jim. Have a ball. You deserve it. You've earned it. And I really, really hope that we get to see a lot of you around campus.
Priscilla, it's been a real pleasure working with you these past 5 years. I remember when we were rookies together. I'd only been on the board approximately 2 months when you were hired on as an interim, and we kind of learned the ropes together, and I think I was really more of a rookie than you were, but it was great being able to learn from you and other board members, and it's been a real pleasure serving with you. You've just meant a whole lot to all of us, and especially during times of adversity, when you were ill, when you were going through surgeries. You always put the institution first, and I'll never forget that. And then also, Kate has already said this to me several different times, that she really appreciates your interest in her when she was going through her illness, and how that the two of you could relate to each other, and that's meant a lot to both of us, and we won't forget that either, and we thank you for that kind of personal interest. But now, you're going to be free to do some of the things that you haven't been able to do before, and I trust that you and Jim will just have a great retirement and doing some things, exciting things that you'll be able to share with us, knowing that you're still going to be in the community. Only one problem is I'm envious of you. However, Kate and I have been doing some talking, and we may retire within, I mean, she has already, but I may be within the next year, year and a half. In the meantime, thanks again for your service to the institution and to the community.
Great to hear from all those folks, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes me feel really good. Thank you very much for pulling that together. It's something. There is a joke behind the Raleigh Juergens red pen, which I am not going to divulge to you. Certainly not in front of the camera. Some other time. But that was lovely. Thank you.
Everybody has talked about you and Jim going forward in retirement. Can you tell us kind of what's on the calendar. I mean, I know what's on your calendar through June 29th because we've all looked at it, and it's full, folks. She's not backing down. But come July 1, where are we going to see you? What are you going to be doing?
Well, we are staying in Coeur d'Alene. We've grown to really love this community. We have a lot of good friends here, so we're definitely staying in Coeur d'Alene. And we're going to take, this will be the first time. This will be the first summer when we've actually been able to stay here and play for the summer in Coeur d'Alene, because I've always had work trips that I've had to make. So that's the first thing we're looking forward to, getting out on the boat on Hayden Lake, enjoying a nice hot summer, seeing friends, and then through the fall, certainly hanging around here. After that, I may look at doing some short-term things once in a while, but we're going to explore what there is to offer here. I'll keep volunteering. I'll continue with the Opera Board. I'll continue with the CASA Board. I'll continue to expand what I do in the community in terms of volunteer work, and I hope to be able to participate with the college and the foundation on many events and happenings, and just stay connected.
Oh, that'd be great. Andy, do we have that? There's a list of what you do in the community. You mentioned the Opera Board and CASA. Jobs Plus I've been on, but I think we'll turn that over to Joe Dunlap when he gets here. And of course Rotary, I'll stay very engaged with the Coeur d'Alene Rotary. And as Trustee Howard said, Jim and I do plan to do some traveling. One of the things we talked about, that Ken and I talked about, was going to Zion National Park, and he told me about a great place to stay, Zion Mountain Ranch, that just sounds delightful. So we're going to take in some of those national parks and, you know, other places that we'd like to see again or see for the first time. Good for you. Well, I'd like to go around the table here to each of the folks that I have the privilege with to serve on your cabinet with, and thank you for that opportunity. And let's just take a moment, each of us, and give you our best wishes as we hope, at least I know, I'll start, and I just would like to thank you for the opportunity. My family is quite anxious and appreciative of the opportunity for us to be a part of the Coeur d'Alene and the North Idaho community, and especially part of the family here at NIC. It really is a family.
It is a family.
And it's just a great place. It's difficult to describe to folks just the fabric that makes everything up that is NIC. But for those of us that have the privilege of being a part of it, I have you to thank for that, and I do so. Thank you very much.
Well, you're more than welcome, and it's been a pleasure for me, as you know.
We've had a
Great
good time.
choice.
It's been
We've had
5
a
or
good
6
time.
months, but we've had a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
Sheldon, I'm going to turn to you.
Priscilla, I just thank you for the opportunity to work with you. And I think we've talked about the productivity and all of those things, but you've never done that at the expense of relationships. And I appreciate that we have a lot of laughter and a lot of fun together. And I think that you've showed us how we can accomplish a lot and have fun doing it. And I appreciate that balance and your mentorship. And I think NIC and the Coeur d'Alene community are better for your time here. So I wish you well.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Yep.
Al?
Well, Priscilla, we shared many memorable moments here through athletics, and it was always fun seeing you in the stands, and you've helped us bring national championships here and for women's basketball and national runner-up for softball, and just really helped provide national exposure for our teams. But I'll never forget the first time you came to watch a wrestling match, and you had never wanted to come to a wrestling match because you thought it was going to be violent. I remember telling you that it was not going to be violent at all, and I recall the first match you saw, our 125-pounder picked up his opponent, happened to be the Highline opponent too from one of your old colleges. And he picked him up and he body slammed him, and your ears got as big as teacups and your jaw dropped. And for the rest of the match, you sat there with your hands over your eyes the entire match. I think you were there for 45 minutes, but you missed the entire match.
It's true, and I didn't see another one until the national championship. And it was still, I was like, oh my gosh.
But
I've enjoyed those athletic contests, and Jim and I'll still be going to the games. You can count on us.
Well, we're planning on seeing you there because you've always brought us good luck, and we're going to miss seeing you in the stands in your NIC jacket. But we're going to make sure you come back because we had a winning streak when you were there. So we need to have you when we play our tough opponents because you always brought us good luck. And it has been a pleasure working with you. And you're not going to be missed because you're going to be there in our stands. So we're counting on you to be back there for us. But thanks for all you did to help highlight our athletics program and many, many other things.
Thanks, Al. That's been fun for me.
Well, Priscilla, I'm sneaking back here trying to see you face to face. I just want to thank you for a couple of things. Your commitment to community college mission, the open enrollment, to serve all people at whatever level they're at and get them in and bring them up through education and training. I admire that most about you. I also admire the fact that you have no fear, and I've said it many, many times, but when it comes to student success, truly, you set a goal. We strive to make sure that those students have access to education and training where they're at, but also through scholarship, through grants, that we're able to seek those external resources. It helps those students have a better opportunity. So as you looked at those 1,000 eligible candidates for commencement, 8 out of 10 of those students qualify for some form of aid. And those students get served through the scholarships and through the grants and the support through NIC and your efforts. And I personally want to thank you for your commitment to the students and for changing lives. Think of the lives that you've impacted over your 30-some years in community college education. And that is an awesome legacy.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, as you know.
Steve?
Well, I want to thank you personally. It's been a great ride working with you, and I also want to thank you for your quiet leadership in technology. We've revolutionized the classrooms. The online education is in outstanding shape. There are students all over the state that many times don't even come to this campus that will benefit from your leadership for years to come. And it's just been a lot of fun. People have talked about that kind of fun and that kind of spirit that's here, and it's just been a lot of that all the time. So I wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You, Steve, have taught me a lot about technology, but I've tried not to have to learn too much, as you know. Although that one time when I was out for the second hip replacement, and we got that very, very bad virus, and we had emergency communications going back and forth and everywhere trying to figure out what was going on and still manage the college with the computer system shut down.
I got to talk to you every day.
Every single day. That was quite a time. That was quite a time.
Ron, you want to go?
I appreciate the opportunity to come back out of what was supposed to be retirement and come at the end of my career to work at a fascinating institution for a really fascinating person. You just keep it moving, you keep it light, you keep it enjoyable, look forward coming to work. And I'm just glad I had this opportunity at the late stages of my career to work with you.
Well, I'm glad you took the opportunity. Our viewers may not know this, but Ron was a finalist for the position when Raleigh Juergens, who you saw a few minutes ago, was hired some 28 years ago.
Right.
So Ron emerged and said, I'd be interested, and it was great. You were just perfect for the job. We're so glad that you made that decision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim?
Well, Priscilla, you and I have known each other for quite some time, and it kind of like what Ron was saying also, I appreciate the opportunity at this stage because being an interim, my tenure here at North Idaho College is brief, but the opportunity to culminate a career working with you and your team here, I always was aware of the reputation of North Idaho College, but having now had the opportunity to work here, it truly came to light, and it's quite evident that you have had a major impact on this institution. And everything that it represents is a direct tribute to the quality of the work that you have produced here. So coming out of retirement to serve here during these 6 months has been a pleasure, not only experiencing the goings on here, but working alongside you. So thank you for that opportunity, and best of luck to you in your retirement.
Thanks, Jim, and thank you for taking your time to take over for Jay Lee when Jay left to take the presidency at Northeastern Junior College, and now to assume the responsibilities as interim student services vice president as well when Sheldon leaves. That's really something that you're willing to do that. There's so many other things I know that are going on in life besides work, but the college needs you, and we appreciate that. And Sheldon, I want to wish you well in your presidency. I'm so pleased for you and so proud that you're taking this step. It is a great thing to do. It's a lot of fun.
I appreciate your support. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, President, we're going to let you take your television show back now. We've kind of dominated the conversation here, but this is the President's program, and I think all of us collectively say thank you very much, and we want to give you a few minutes to wrap it up and close the program as you have done for over 5 years now, and I think collectively just say thank you very much.
I appreciate that, Mark, and again, to all of you for being here and for being the team that you are. We do have fun, and that's one of the things I really like. When we get in our meetings, I mean, we get a lot done, but we do have a good time. And as I look back over the things that we've done as a team for, going on 5.5 years, it truly is amazing. And, some of the things are very concrete, like the getting all of our classrooms online and up to speed with up-to-date technology. And some things are not so concrete. It's the relationships that we've built and the good, I guess, just the way that faculty and staff and administration work together and trust and move forward as a team has been just terrific. So yes, a lot of tangible things, the mill site purchase, et cetera, but a lot of intangibles as well, and none of that could have been accomplished without a team of us. So thank you all very much. For me, it's been a fabulous 38 years in community colleges, and I said I couldn't have finished out my career at a better institution or with better people. So my thanks to you. And now, viewers, I think that is the end of our show today. We've gone a little over time, which I had not expected, didn't quite realize. I want to thank you all for joining us, all the President's Cabinet, and viewers, I want to thank you for spending time with us as we talked about my career and some of the things that have happened at North Idaho College over the last few years. As always, you can go to www.nic.edu to get more information about North Idaho College, and you can get it 24/7. We look forward to having you join us for future programs and to joining us here on campus. Thank you.